How are you? Crazy, this real estate market that we're in, the changes that we're going through. My name is Pat Garrity with Detroit Real Estate Group, and we're going to go over and have another Central Alberta Monthly Market Minute. We're going to talk a little bit about the statistics here in Central Alberta and what they mean to you as a buyer and what they mean to you as a homeowner. And then I have a couple of questions I'm probably going to ask you, and I might answer them, or I have some thoughts. But let's not take our time. Let's move along quickly here. I don't want to waste your time online, so I got the stats right here. Let's take a look at Red Deer. Red Deer is the mothership of real estate sales. I've said it every month. It has the most number of sales. It has the most number of active, all that kind of stuff. So it's going to give us probably the most accurate indication of what's happening in our real estate market here in Central Alberta. So let's take a look, and we're going to compare year over year, 2022 comparing it to 2021. In October, at the end of the month, the inventory was at 287 in the detached category. A year ago, it was 372. So an incredible decrease in the active inventory. So those inventory levels are staying down. The number of, that's like 3 months of inventory right now in Red Deer in the detached category. That's great for sellers, and I think that's great for buyers. They're going to have some selection, and they're also going to, there's going to be, there's a bit of demand for sure. Number of new listings, it was 124. Last year we had 125, so dead ringer. Sales, 96 this year, sales 98 last year. So this last month in Red Deer, October 22, almost identical to Red Deer of 2021. Just being now is that there's less inventory. There's probably more demand for the product. Semi-attached and semi-detached have very similar characteristics in what they have available in the market. So it's interesting. Overall, right now, they're 3.2 months of inventory. A year ago, they had 4.6 months. So Red Deer's doing good. Red Deer's doing good. Price your house right. There's probably a buyer out there for it. If you're in the luxury category, those are always slower. So not always the case. But if you're in that, you're in that 3 to 350 category and you're priced right, the chances are you're going to sell, and you're probably going to sell pretty quick. Take a look at Sylvan Lake. Sylvan Lake has 61 detached homes for sale. A year ago, it had exactly the same number, 61. This is up from last month, minorly, but still up just a little bit, up about 5 or 6 homes. But on one good weekend, that can change. Number of new listings in Sylvan Lake this month was 18. Last year, there's 25. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. And number of sales was 16. Last year was 25. So a little bit softer in the sales category. This is all detached homes. Across the board, we had 33 sales this year, 37 last year, so pretty close. So we were actually up in the attached, semi-detached. So townhomes, duplexes, things like that was actually up, over what it was last year minorly. Apartments were up significantly, percentage-wise. So in Sylvan Lake right now, we have 3.1 months of inventory across the board, and exactly 3.1 months a year ago. So Sylvan Lake, very similar to Red Deer, kind of hanging in there. And we have not seen a big ballooning of inventory. Again, I have a theory on that. Black Falls, 37 detached homes for sale. Last year, 73, so down like 47%. It's crazy, and that's across the board there. They had 12 new listings. Last year was 27. They had 12 sales. Last year was 18. So they have 3.1 months of inventory, 4.1 months last year. So Black Falls is similarly doing some of the same things. Overall, their inventory levels are down from where they were a year ago, which is good for, it's good. It's good. Lacombe, inventory is at 54. Last year was 79. Okay. Number of new listings was 20 and 34 last year. So inventory is definitely an issue. You look at some of this, the market trends, the months of inventory, and you take a look at this, and the months of inventory was starting to rise, and it's starting to decline again. Okay. So this is for those communities. And if you look at the number of sales trends, look at Red Deer, that's the top line, always peaks this time of year, and it actually spiked up a little bit in October. So that's not bad. So we're still seeing some progress in our real estate market, regardless of what the media is telling us. Why do you think our inventory is staying low? And one of our selling partners, Darcy Downey, and I were just speaking about this. And she figures a lot of the people that are that might sell have that wait and see attitude. I think she's right. Well, what are they waiting to see? They're waiting to see if our if our mortgage rates are going to come down after the next potential rise here that the Bank of Canada says it's going to happen. The last one was a half basis point, which was supposed to be 3/4. So inflation has been tempered. So we think that we're probably going to see one more rise, a small one, and then by maybe first to second quarter next year, we're going to see some moderation in our rates. But let me ask you this: if they're going to go down, if people are waiting for these interest rates to go down, how much are they going to go down? Exactly. Does everybody think? Are they going to go down 20%, 30%? Are they going to go down? Listen, a normal interest rate for us is 4.5 to 4.75. I think when they come down, after inflation gets under control, after some of these markets cool off, that's where we're going to be. Well, guess what? That's only a point below. That's only a point below, or a little bit more than a point below where we're at now, right? I heard a good quote in a podcast that I was listening to this week. And it talks about the rate, and it talks about people being stifled, or they're saying we're going to wait for the rate to go down. But let me tell you this: you date the rate, but you marry the home. If you find the right house, do not let it go by. Okay? Now, obviously, there's an asterisk on that. You have to be able to afford it. If you can't afford it, don't buy it. That goes without saying. But if you can afford it comfortably, and that's the right house, don't worry about the rates. Buy the house. You can always adjust your rates moving forward if they fall. People are waiting for these rates to go back down where they were in the spring, 1.6, 1.7, 1.8. That ain't happening ever. Remember, those rates were dropped to kind of instigate or to get our market going, right? To put a little gasoline on the fire. Well, guess what? It did, big time. Okay. Remember, you date the rate, you marry the house. Okay. And the last question I'll ask you: would you, as a buyer, rather buy a home in a hot market where you're paying over list price or paying a premium for that home with a lower rate? Or would you rather go in softly right now, pick the home that you like with that nice inventory levels, and take it slow, not feel the pressure? If that right house comes along, buy it with a higher rate. Well, you're probably going to get it at a better price, right? You're probably going to get it at a better price. So would you rather buy now at a better price with more negotiating power, less pressure, or would you rather just be that part of that whole social proof phenomenon where everybody's buying a house, so I got to buy a house? Okay? Something to think about. Remember, you date the rate, you marry the house. We're here to help you for all your real estate needs. Buyers and sellers, we'd love to come and help you with your market evaluation just to find out exactly what it is. No obligation, and it never costs you anything. We are fiercely local here at the Trillium Real Estate Group. Have a great weekend. November looks like it's going to be a little colder than October, but who cares? We still live in a beautiful part of the world. Have a great day.